Hey everybody, it's Vallen from Mischief of Mice, here with another Bit by Bit on Thaumcraft 4. Today, we're going to be doing a really quick aspect discovery list. So let's get to it. You should be made aware that these are not a complete list of everything you could possibly scan. It's just a quick, down and dirty list of everything that that I found to be relatively inexpensive so that you can quickly unlock all the aspects and get to scanning as soon as possible with your thermometer. So to start off, you usually start with somewhere around 15 aspects of each of the primal aspects, which is terra, air, aqua, and so on. And when you end up having those, you can combine them in your research table here. So to start, you're going to want to get Victus. Go into your table here, and you're going to want to create aqua and terra, which I've got plenty in here, but this should still work for you, and you'll create Victus, just like that. And that's a good start. Next, you might as well do Tempestus, because it's just as easy to do, and it'll get you going later on. So that's going to be air and aqua, and here you go, air, aqua, together, you get Tempestus. Done. Next, you're going to want to scan a torch to get Lux. Next, we go with Potentia, which coal, charcoal, or coal block should do the trick. Then we've got Urbe, which is going to be a grass block. You can also scan sugarcane, melon seeds, regular seeds, pumpkin seeds, grass, leaves, mossy stone bricks, etc. But most common you'll end up finding grass. Mortis is next, and you're going to end up getting Arbor at the same time by scanning a trap door. Very simple and easy to make. To get more of Arbor if you desire, just about everything that's wood for the most part should have Arbor on it, and probably nothing else, or very minimal. Probably you might end up with Urbe on there as well, or something on some of them. Next is going to be Vacuous, which is going to be a bowl or a chest, an empty bottle, or a file, which is added in by Thaumcraft. Then we've got Vitreous, which is a block of glass, water bottle, and then any of the quartz, nether quartz, either found naturally or in a block form. Then we move on to Mortis. That if you end up doing if you end up scanning a potion of weakness, then you can also get Potentia at the same time. But if you don't have the option of doing that because blaze rods are a bit difficult at the time, like you're trying to get this early game, then take Victus and Potentia in your research table here and create it to get Mortis. And that's pretty basic, real easy there. Just a few points spent to get 1 point back. If you want more Potentia, an easy source is going to be silverwood saplings, greatwood saplings, netherwort, chiseled sandstone. There's none of the other sandstone works, just the chiseled. Then you've got your moss stone. Any of the shards will work. I just use this as an example, as well as a cinder pearl. Those are some of your more common things you can find. Then we have Velatas. This here, if you can scan a live chicken, or even more difficult, a live bat, then you'll also get Bestia at the same time. But if you just want more of Velatus, then you can also scan a feather, scribing tools, or a book and quill. And if you are looking to get more Bestia, then you can scan any number of regular spawning friendly animals like sheep, pigs, cows, mushrooms if you're near one of those biomes, wolf, squid, a horse, and even if you're in a jungle and you're feeling lucky, an ocelot, because those can be a little tricky to get. Then moving on to Spiritus, we've got Soul Sand. That is going to be an easy one because you'll get a double with Vinculum. Alternately, you can also scan a creeper head, which you may end up have received by then. But if you need more Vinculum, then you can also scan the amber items here. We've got what is this? Bricks, block, the regular amber, and the bearing stone. Moving on, we've got Cognito, or Cognitio, excuse me, and with that, paper. Simple one there. Humanus, you could do, what is this? Rotten flesh, not zombie flesh. Rotten flesh or a block of flesh, which is just a bunch of rotten flesh in filling up a crafting grid. Will get you both that and corpus. Now, if you just want more of Humanus, then there's also, you could scan a villager. Or if you're unfortunate enough to have lost, or found, rather, your head, then you could scan that as well, or another player's. But moving on with corpus, you could also scan just about any of the raw foods, which is going to be like the raw pork chop, the raw beef, raw chicken, raw fish, clownfish, pufferfish, salmon, a bone, or a zombie head. All those should have corpus on it, and you'll be able to scan at this point. Now moving on, we've got Famis, I believe it is, or Fames. I can't ever remember. But any of these ones at the beginning, you've got wheat, bread, apple, potato, cooked potato, or a full-grown melon will get you Fams and Messis at the same time. Now, alternately at the end, a slice of melon will only get you the Famis, and the pumpkin will get you the Messis. So that's a really easy one to get. Lots of dual aspects coming off of that. Moving on, we've got Instrumentum, and then you'll end up with flint, a wooden shovel. You could do a stone shovel, a wooden axe, a stone axe. You can even do the iron equivalents as well, you know, moving on up. But I'm just keeping these really simple, so you could even make a recipe in the crucible with these, or a table. And then the last but not least, before your prerequisites are complete, is going to be Tenebrae. And if you could scan Obsidian, which is easy to find, as well as either of the mushrooms or mushroom stew. Once you've completed this list, preferably in this order, there is a possibility you could unlock these in a slightly different order. You can also end up trying to unlock them just by combining aspects in your research table. But then you end up wasting the points. So often you don't want to do that if you can scan it instead. But then any of the rest of these that I list, you can scan in any order and you should be fine. But I will go through them in the order that I have here. So we've got Gellum, which you can scan a snowball, a piece of snow, a block of snow, packed ice, or regular ice. Then we have Fabrico, and we have Panis. Together you'll get both of, or rather you'll get both of those off of wool, but Fabrico you will also get off of a bed, Thaumanomicon, crafting table, or the arcane work table. Now if you want more of the Panis and you don't have wool or something, you might already have a bed, Thaumanomicon as well on that one, so you kind of have some dual going on with those ones. String, a bow, and a lead are all really inexpensive alternatives. Going with Venom, we have we've got a few similarities here with Spider Eye plus the fermented Spider Eyes. Alternately, you could also get scanning Cinnabar ore, V-Shroom, be careful of the nausea effect, Poisonous Potato, Quicksilver, or even a Potion of Poison if you've already got a potion stand set up. Or if you've ended up fighting some witches and you don't even know what to do with those potions, because obviously you're not going to want to drink them yourself. But if you need Census and you didn't want to do those ones, you just wanted to make recipe or something, most flowers and the dye equivalents will work in this case. So that's a real easy one. Mostly the dyes will have just the one aspect on it, I believe, so that's a really good one for making recipes that involve that. Then you've got Glowstone Dust and the regular glowstone itself. Continuing on, we have Sano, which a bucket of milk is probably the cheapest way to go for that one. Then we've got Mito, which is just about any hoe, as well as a pair of shears. Those are probably your cheapest alternatives. Perfodio, once again, picks. Then we've got Tellum, just about any of the swords or an arrow. Then we've got Totem, which is a piece of leather will work, but alternately you could also do most of the armor types will work, not just chest plates. It'll work for the rest of the armor pieces. Permutation, once again, Cinnabar ore. You've got Shimmerleaf, Quicksilver, you've got Hopper. Those will all work as probably the cheapest alternatives I could think of. Then you've got Machina, as well as Eider will both be unlocked from scanning a fence gate. Probably the cheapest one there for getting both. But then there's also pressure plates, lever, door, redstone block or pieces, torch, even a note block or a tripwire hook, block of redstone. Any of those are really good for Machina. You'll find that on any of the more complex stuff, but those are probably the cheapest alternatives I could think of. Moving on with Eider, after the fence gate, we've got Carrot on a Stick, as well as Rails. Those are probably the cheapest I could come up with on that one. Metallum, we've got Iron and Iron Ore. Lucrum, Gold ore, diamonds ore. Not exactly cheap, but it is lucrum after all. So, Examinus. This one you can get from a skull head, you can get from a gas tier, you can get it from scanning a zombie or scanning a skeleton, as well as zombie brains. Probably your cheapest ones are going to be the skeleton head or the zombie brains for the quantity and how often you're going to find them. Then we've got Alienus, which an Ender Pearl, an Obsidian Totem. Now there are variants of that, but just the Obsidian Totem, not the charge type. Then we've got an Eye of Ender, or any of the banners actually will work for getting Alienus. Limus, you're going to want an egg. That's probably the cheapest. Slime, or even the tainted goo, which you're going to want to be careful if that's in your inventory. It will end up giving you taint and disappearing. To get Vitium, just about any of the taint items will work. You've got your tentacle, your goo, your plants, the creep, or what's it called, the fibrous taint, the tainted soil, crusted taint, etc. Just about any of that purple stuff is going to end up giving you that if you need it. And then Aurum, you can get from any of the ethereal essence, which come from nodes or wisps as drops. So that's it. This is not a comprehensive list of everything, as I said. This is just a list of all the aspects to get you scanned in through, and if you want to create cheap recipes in your Crucible, then this will probably get you started. So I hope you've enjoyed this. If so, please give me a like, comment, or subscribe. And until next time, see ya.